Welcome to Learn Yin Yoga with Dennis. This is a Yin Yoga practice for beginners. You'll need a cushion or two, a blanket, and 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, just have some extra cushions. Make sure that you feel physically well enough to practice. Take rest whenever you need, and enjoy. So beginning with our grounding and centering. Come into a comfortable seated position. You can use a cushion, yoga blocks. Make sure you feel easy through your hips, easy through your spine, and easy through your breath. Just watch the inhale move all the way in, and watch the exhale move all the way out. Focusing on the breath, moving breath to breath, moment to moment, and allowing ourselves much needed time to turn inwards and surrender to the practice of Yin Yoga. When the mind wanders, understand that it is the nature of the analytical mind to do so. By following the breath, we can bring some precision into the mind. When thoughts become intrusive, when we realize that a thought has occurred, we are practicing mindfulness. So there are 3 principles in Yin Yoga. We call them principles rather than rules. The first principle is finding the general shape of the posture for your unique frame and for all of the variations that we have. You don't have to look like someone else when you practice this. There will be a general sketch almost. The second principle is time. We relax our muscular body, which is a yang activity, and we move into the deeper, denser connective tissue and fascia, and we spend periods of time there, gently adding a positive stress to that targeted area in order to bring around change. So we have the shape, we have time, And then within that period of time, we try to remain still, which can be the most difficult of all. We try to limit fidgeting, and we do our best to find that stillness. You can release out of any pose at any stage and lay in Shavasana or Child's Pose. Let's move into the first pose, Butterfly. Bring the soles of the feet together. You can sit on something if you need some padding. You can have props on the feet, things that stack up. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, allow yourself to round your back, flexing your spine, honoring the curve of the spine as it bows forward and as the heart becomes heavy to the earth. Let the head and neck relax. And observe the breath moving into the back of the heart. And observe the targeted area of the inner thighs and the outer hips, finding space, and for the muscles of the back, lengthening and releasing. In Yin Yoga, we measure what we feel through sensation in the body. When you are relaxing, when you are surrendering to postures, that's a compassionate approach. So the sensation that you feel in your body, if you were to measure on a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being the most sensation, but not being painful, you want to reside around a 6 or a 7. You can be less than that. You want the sensation that you feel to know that there is a challenge, because through that there will be a change, but you don't want it to be at the risk of taking that compassionate approach. The breath will always be your guide. So always allow the breath to be smooth, not to become negatively impacted, and back off when you need to. Never try to go out of your way to overexert yourself. Bring your awareness back into your breath. Stay in the posture for a moment. How you transition from one pose to the next is of great importance. You might feel vulnerable physically. You may feel as if you have aged. So you want to be careful. You want to move slowly. Begin to gently walk the hands back in. Keep the head heavy. Unfurl the spine. Lift the head chin parallel. And find a clear breath in. And a clear breath out. Witness the breath. Now let's move into our second pose, half shoelace. You can take a cushion or blanket and place that gently underneath the leg that is straight. Choose whatever leg you like. And then take the opposite leg, cross it over so that the knees are generally in that stacked area. They're not fully stacked, but they're in that general area. Then begin your fold forward. Keep the feet relaxed. And allow yourself to surrender into stillness, using the breath as your guide and building up inner strength to stay in the pose for this period of time. Things will come up. Witness them and allow them to move on. Remaining here, bring your awareness once more to your breath. Observe where it travels to. And then slowly begin to bring the spine upright. And notice what you notice. When you're ready, we'll switch legs and do the other side. You can use whatever props again that you need. You can discard them. Remember, we're relaxing our muscles. So we're not lifting our kneecaps or our thighs. We're not flexing our feet. The focus here is truly on the back, on the spine. Feel the breath move into the back of the shoulder blades. Feel the exhale. Take the heart forward. And surrender into stillness. Bring your awareness back into your breath. And slowly begin to unfurl the spine once more. Preparing now for our next posture. Let's lay down and rest in Shavasana, which might feel strange because energetically, well, physically, we have only done 2 poses and a meditation. But the amount of energy that requires to become still when the thoughts are at the forefront of our mind, it takes a lot. So let's rest back, witness the breath, and know that you can always revisit this pose at any stage, even before I instruct you to come out. Come back into your breath. And when you're ready, slowly draw the knees in. Roll to your side, bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. And we'll prepare for our next posture, half straddle. Now you can have something underneath you and allow your right leg to reach out to the side. Bring your left foot inside your thigh. Turn your chest in the direction of the extended leg. And again, any props that you feel you need under the knee, bricks or cushions, or maybe it's fine for the head to be lifted. You don't need to go to that deep place. we want to feel something that gives the mind something to focus on. Using sensation and becoming familiar with what exactly is going on in the body at any given time. Return to your breath. Notice how you feel. And when you're ready, begin the slow unfurling of the spine. Breathe clearly when you arrive. And then slowly with awareness, we'll practice that posture again over the left leg. Finding the shape. Surrendering and relaxing the muscles and the mind. Staying here for a period of time. Observing sensation and becoming still. Return to your breath. And whenever you're ready, slowly begin to unfurl your spine. When you arrive, breathe clearly. And prepare now for the next posture, full straddle. So both legs move out to the sides. And again, feel free to have something underneath your sit bones. You'll feel this targeted area on the inner thighs. You can have padding underneath the heels if you want to. Relax your feet and toes. Relax your knees and thighs. You can have pillows in front of you or bricks. And when you're ready, allow yourself to fold forward, rounding your spine again. Observing sensation. And surrendering into stillness. When you're ready to come out of the pose, slowly walk your hands back. Slowly unfurl the spine. Find a clear breath. Notice the quality of your mind. And then we will move into our next posture. So let's move into child's pose. Come onto the knees. Tops of feet press. If you need some padding between your buttocks and your heels, you're more than welcome to. Also the shins. And if this posture is not available because of knee or ankle injuries, or you feel as if you can't breathe with ease, then you can lay back in Shavasana. Allow your arms to extend. Whether the forehead is on a prop or whether the forehead is on the earth. Making choices as a response to sensations that you are feeling in this moment. Feel the sit bones almost like they're moving apart. Breath into the lower spine, across the sacrum, into the inner thighs, as you surrender down. And then whenever you're ready, slowly begin the transition up onto your hands and your knees. Release your props out to the side. And now we'll move into our first yin back bend, Sphinx pose. You can pad underneath the front of the pelvis. Prop yourself up onto your forearms as if you're doing forearm plank. Ground through the hands and the forearms. And make sure you feel comfortable in your neck. Relax the buttocks. Relax the legs. You can even shake the hips slightly. You can use props for underneath your forehead if you need. This is quite a difficult pose for the arms, not so much the legs. And a lot of these yin yoga poses can be quite deceptive. They might look easy. So remember time and remember stillness. When something becomes too much, you can't hold it. Don't take yourself way past the point where you start panting heavily and breathing heavily and it just becomes an experience that you're not going to enjoy. Please feel free to release from any pose at any stage. But prepare for this challenge. Prepare for the reactive mind. And whenever you're ready, start to release. You can make a pillow with your hands. You can rest your forehead on them. If you prefer, you can turn your head to the side and breathe into your back. The back just craves that breath after the compression, after the back bend that it experienced. Breathing here. And then from here, slowly begin to shift back. Remove your props and come into a comfortable seat, laying down, and we'll prepare now for happy baby pose. So laying down onto your back, draw the knees in toward you, and the knees can be separated here. You can absolutely hold on to your ankles, your big toes, the outside edges of your feet, or you can hold the inner arches and the inner heels. With the knees widening either side of the rib cage, there is more of a yang quality here because you're using your arms, just like there was a yang quality in Sphinx. Because there's yin within yang and yang within yin. Draw on the feet and feel the knees come closer towards the earth. And this should feel very welcome for the sacrum, the sit bones, the hamstrings, the lower back after Sphinx. And then from here, you can slowly begin to release the feet. Extend the legs. You can shake out the feet and the legs if you need to. Arms rest by the sides or hands on the abdomen. Resting and assimilating. Now from here we're going to come up and prepare for our twist. So if you want something under the head, you're welcome to have something there, something light, not something massive. Draw your right knee in towards you, and then just allow that right leg to come over towards the left, so it's crossing the midline. The foot can rest on the floor. The hand can rest on the knee, but not heavy. Or you can have a prop like a cushion or something like this. Remember, we're still in this art of surrendering to stillness. So we don't want to pull with our arms. The hands are there, they're just a placement. Breathe into the abdomen. And let the exhale become very welcome. And noticing the breath. And when you're ready, bring the leg back in through the center. The feet can be flat on the floor. Resetting, move any props that you need. Lengthen your right leg. Draw your left knee all the way in. Inhale, and as you exhale, take the leg across the midline to the right. You can use the hand again for placement, for guidance, for support. There may be a prop underneath that knee. Allow yourself to settle here again, into the breath, into gravity, into exploring this twist. Become aware of your breath once more. And very slowly and with awareness, draw yourself back into the midline. And we'll now prepare for Shavasana, your final resting pose. So get yourself comfortable. You can have a blanket to cover yourself, keep yourself warm, cushions, any eye coverings. Laying back. Making any final adjustments so that you can fully settle. And now this is where we do nothing. This is the most yin that we could become. And we hopefully have felt some sense of release physically and mentally. And then we can use the rhythm of the breath, sensations that are arising, to simply be in observance of this moment. And every breath is a moment. An inhale, an exhale, moving breath to breath, moment to moment. Rest now in stillness, sealing your practice in. And from here, bring your awareness compassionately back to your breath. Start to gently move back into your hands, your feet. No rush at all. Take your time. But if you're coming up with me, draw your knees in, a nice big squeeze. Feet to the floor, roll to your side, and gently bring yourself up. Find a comfortable seat just to seal your practice in, just to close the book for today. Awareness of breath once more. Thank you for practicing Yin Yoga for beginners. Namaste.